Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Live Well, Love Strong podcast. And today I'm so excited. I have a special guest, and his name is Timothy, but we call him Dash Gordon, and he's with the Dash Gordon Foundation. Dash, welcome.
Oh, glad to be here. So really honored that you invited me. I think this is going to be
Oh,
great.
we're so happy to have you. Okay, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your role with the Dash Gordon Foundation?
Okay, so I'm Tim Glover. Of
Big
course,
T.
I'm 61 years old, just turned 61 on March 27th. Happily married, have an incredible wife. I have eight kids, four girls, four boys. We have eight grandchildren, six grandsons, and two granddaughters, and one new baby on the way that was just recently announced. So
Congratulations.
that's
Yeah.
exciting. And I started the Dash Gordon Foundation as a DoorDasher. I'm the president of this amazing organization that actually turned non-for-profit on February 6th of 2023.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so what first drew you to supporting individuals and families within the disability community?
So the story is kind of wackadoodle.
I like it.
My wife was, ill at the time, and I just, said, "Hey, I want to take her on a vacation. We're going to DoorDash. I have a great job. I work for a great company, and I didn't want to pay for it out of pocket. So I said, let's DoorDash. I'd never done it before, and I thought it'd be neat for us to ride together, kind of like Batman and Robin or something like that. And so,
Yeah.
um, the part I hated about it is I loved going to the restaurants and interacting with the restaurants, but dropping the food off at the door just really troubled me. I like social interaction. And so I was just sitting in my office after about 6 weeks of door dashing, and I said, I've got to come up with an idea. How do I make this bigger than life?
Mhm.
So I decided to buy a Flash costume because that is my favorite superhero. And just decided to create social media kind of geared towards this superhero character, call him Dash Gordon, DoorDash, Jeff Gordon, the race car driver,
Love it.
and created Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And I started promoting it before it ever started. Well, then the costume about 6 weeks later came in, and I went out on my very, very first night. And the city went ballistic over it. Restaurants were going crazy. People were taking pictures. I mean, it was wild. After a few weeks of doing this and getting out there, people were posting sightings all over the place of me. And so I was on Facebook one morning getting prepared for work, and I saw a young lady's kind of a post in distress. I'm a single mom raising a 2-year-old. I need some help. And
Mhm.
so people were saying, go here, go here. And I just typed in the comments, Dash Gordon to the rescue. So I private messaged her, and she lived in government housing in Texas City. And so I threw on the costume and I started knocking on doors. And it was the funniest thing because I would say, Hey, I'm Dash Gordon. They're like, No, you're Tim Glover. You live across the street. I'm like, Well, hold up. Well, right now I'm Dash Gordon. And what I got to do is I'm raising money for this amazing mom. Just want to help her out. Got the money, went in Dash Gordon attire, and went out there and got diapers and wipes and shopped at Kroger and Walmart and everything else. Once I delivered that and I posted it about this incredible, young lady, the city
Right.
got wind of it, where I live, League City, and their team decided to put together a documentary about me. And so we rode around for a couple days and we filmed all this, and it won the video of the year at the Savvy Awards in Washington.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all, I didn't know this, just so y'all know. Dash and I have talked a few times before, and he's, a big guy in our community. But I didn't know that story. That's so touching. I didn't know that that's how it got started.
That's
That
how it
almost
is.
made me cry when you were saying that. Because I'm a single mom and I know how hard it is. And so,
Yeah,
for someone who doesn't know that person and is just a random person in the
yep,
community to care about someone else like that, and then to care enough to move it into action, right? Because people, they have those feelings all the time, right?
we do.
But then we don't always act on it, but you
Right,
did.
right. I
Oh
did.
my gosh, I love it. Okay, when you hear the word ally, especially in the disability community, what does it mean to you specifically as Dash Gordon?
The word ally. Um, I think in the disabilities and special needs community, That's a tough word. There's a lot of people that perceive themselves as allies and they get the story and they hear it from the moms and they see the kids, but they don't really ever turn into an ally. Um, and it could be a plethora of different reasons. Their heart's not in it. Other particular reasons, maybe they're nervous or scared or don't really have an understanding. I
Hmm.
think what I've become is a true ally because the Dash Gordon Foundation has become a movement. And it's a movement really to give these families and these children a voice now that is going to be heard. People aren't going to be able to just make the decision anymore. I don't want to listen to them. Well, no, you're going to see them. You're going to listen to
Yeah, I
them.
love that.
You're going
Yeah.
to hear them. Why? Because I'm going to put them in places that you normally would never see them and surprise you. And then the thing is the kids and the children and these young adults, they don't have to adjust. They've been adjusting their whole life. The only people that have to adjust is the typical people who are never around them. They got to make the adjustments.
I
And they'll
love that
make the
you said that.
adjustments in a negative or a positive way, but what we found mostly is in a very positive way because we're shedding so much light and creating so much joy, but creating awareness at the same time, and the community is starting to wake up a little bit.
I love that. And you are like such an ally, like by definition. Was there a moment or experience, Dash, where it really deepened your commitment, where you were like kind of starting, but then something happened and you were like, oh yeah, this is it?
Um, you know, we created this amazing winter formal was my very first event. And I'm on the computer and I see special needs events all the time, people with
Mhm.
disabilities doing different things, but it always seemed like a very similar situation.
Yep.
In a big gym area, the DJ or whoever's playing music is kind of unengaged, just pressing some buttons. Everybody's eating pizza and kind of running around. They are having a good time. But I didn't see a lot of social interaction. So when I created this winter formal, it seemed like there was a huge need for it to allow these young adults and older adults to dress up in November, come to this, or actually in December, come to this amazing event that was all about them and just create an atmosphere where these kids knew there was no judgment, no expectations. They could just be them, whether they
Yeah.
were in a wheelchair, whether they were on crutches, whether they were Down syndrome, autism, IDD, eight, whatever. We didn't
Yeah.
care. So we put
Yeah.
this big event on. And I think that moment was I had really my first event, learning each individual. I mean, it softens your heart so much. It
Yeah.
brings so many beautiful tears, from your eyes. And then I just realized at that moment, I'm like, this is my lane. This is where
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be. And because that happened, the local credit union reaches out and says, "Hey, we want to help you start a nonprofit." And because they saw this event,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so I
It's a
said,
great story.
I
Yeah.
said, let's go. And so we decided to stay in our lane, build the website, birth the Dash Gordon Foundation, and it's been like a rocket ship.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. So cool. Okay. So for caregivers listening now, who may feel like unseen or unsupported, what would you want them to know from an ally?
Well, I think for these caregivers, do you mean the parents in general?
Yeah, the parents in general, the people that are
All
so
caregivers, whether it's the parents or
yeah, whether it's caregivers that are just doing it paid caregiving or unpaid caregiving. But for I'm being more specific about the single mamas, like the people that you initially started helping.
I think, there's Special Olympics. There's other organizations that are out there. A lot are tailored towards specific diagnosis.
Mhm,
There's Down syndrome organizations, there's autism organizations. Special Olympics is inclusive,
mhm.
and we wanted to be completely inclusive. And I think what we've done is for these parents, these
Yeah,
caregivers of these children, we've said, look, not only is your child going to be seen, not only is your child going to be heard, but what I'm going to do is show the world that they have a talent that goes way beyond their disability. And we've created just so many things. so that people could see that they're the true supers because a child with Down syndrome or autism or cerebral palsy, they've got this other talent that
Yeah.
sometimes doesn't really get exposed. And then all
Hmm.
of a sudden you throw it out there. And I used to be initially like, whoa, I can't believe, oh my gosh. Well, now when I meet one of these children, I just say, so what is your talent? Oh, you do triple somersault with a double backflip. Of course you can do that because I can't. So what would, I mean, I expect you to be able to do those amazing things. So now I'm not surprised anymore. I'm when I meet these kids, I expect something extravagant or incredible or whatever. And they all have something.
I
They
love that you
all have
said that.
something.
Yeah, I love that you said that. So we talk about presuming competence in our, area, and you moved from not really knowing to presumed competence.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's
Oh
so
my God.
silly.
And I want to tell you this because I haven't told you this, but to my listeners, I didn't know Dash previously, and he was highly recommended. And so I called around and asked different moms, like, who's this guy and what's he doing? And do you know him? Have you met them? And every single person I spoke to not only said that you were a true ally, but they said what you just said, which is Dash gives our children a chance to be seen for the value that they have that people don't know that's inside of them. That's exactly what they said.
It's true.
So,
And the value is so great
so
because you
important.
don't you and I think that that's people's perception of these
Totally.
kids is they're going to get in front of them and it's going to be like a weird one-off. It's not at all.
No. Yeah.
When you touch their hand or you see their eye gestures or you say something really sweet or you make them laugh or you just say your shoes are so cute, you look so pretty, you look so handsome. I mean, every young man or young lady I've said, I'm like, have you always been this good looking? And they're like, well, yeah, of course I have. They exude so much
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah, they're being
They're
their own authentic selves. They don't know to be anything else, which I think
it's
allows us, the people to be around them, to be more of our authentic selves and to be a little freer. And that's what I notice when I hang out with this population is that,
but Sarah, people still struggle with that
yeah,
because they think there's a communication gap. There really isn't. You
no,
can
yeah,
talk to a nonverbal child
totally, yeah,
and just watch the facial expressions and watch their body move. If they're excited, they'll show it. If they're aggravated, they'll show it. Their eyes, everything about it. They may even scream at you. Who knows?
right,
Down syndrome child, child with autism, maybe you have to listen a little bit more. Maybe you have to say, could you please repeat that? Or maybe through the conversation, you end up piecing it together
right,
and now you understand what is trying to be conveyed. And it takes patience. And my applause to all the moms and dads, because raising a child with a disability or special need does take tremendous patience. I mean, you
yeah.
don't, this isn't something you like trained for. You got
Yeah,
it.
no,
You have it
totally. It
like,
slows us down, but
yeah,
in a really great way. And in the beginning, I was really aggravated by being slowed down. And now I see the wonderful, wonderful gift that it is. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Dash, how can someone begin learning about this community if they have no personal connection or experience with it?
Well, I don't think it's that hard. I think that there's so many organizations out there now. You've got the Christina Sullivan Foundation, you got Autism Moms of Houston, you got GH Feds, you've got the Dash Gordon Foundation. The resources have grown. So there's Special Strong. I mean, there's so many organizations now. I think people just need to be more open to
Hmm.
being exposed to it. It's out there now. I mean, for every school bus that has typical kids on it, there's a school bus that has special needs and disabilities kids on it.
Right. There's a
It
big number, and yeah, that's totally true. Okay, so they need to connect with one of those organizations.
it's not hard. I mean, you
Show
can
up.
just jump on the internet. I mean, boom, boom, and then five or eight organizations will pull up, and you can get involved relatively quickly.
Yeah. 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 Okay. I like it. What are some small actions that someone could do that could make a big impact?
Oh man, I mean. just, I mean, I think just being a consistent person that shows up. If one thing that I've learned with these families is
Mhm.
consistency is what's mattered the most. Because the way that you build trust with the parents and with these children is you're consistent in your efforts when you say you're going to do something. I think
Yeah.
another thing too is just going to an event that has these individuals at it and then just kind of learning a little bit more about it to kind of unease the tension that most people have that it's going to be a weird situation because it's really not. I mean, it's going to be
Yeah.
very comfortable once you understand what you're getting yourself into. I think most people are just nervous
Yeah,
about
no,
being one of
totally.
these
And kind of intimidated. Like I always felt before I had Mary Elizabeth, when I saw someone in a wheelchair out and about, it was kind of intimidating to me. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what the script was. I didn't know whether I was supposed to look and wave and smile or whether I was supposed to not look or
Sure.
you know what I mean? And so I think that's a big barrier, really, because people are like not sure. And
Well,
really
but look at it like this. When you were in school, and you and myself and you ran across a child with Down syndrome or autism or whatever else, how did you feel when you were in school?
I felt normal. I felt like they were normal. Yeah. I felt like it
Well,
was
I mean,
part of.
I can honestly say I was nervous about,
Oh, really? Oh,
I was because I didn't really know how to interact,
yeah. I think I was a weird kid, but keep
That's
going.
weird.
Yeah, y'all were
That's why I'd probably say I wasn't ready for Dash Gordon until later in life because I had a lot to learn. But
yeah,
I think people just need to step out of their comfort zone and realize
yeah,
this. In this crazy, wacky world that we live in, there's an element that we can go into and be in a bubble and be in the most non-judgmental, most
yes,
loving
yeah,
environment you could ever be in. And guess
right.
what? When you're in it, everything on the outside goes away for the hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours that you're there. And then
Mhm.
you're just like, wow, I need
This
this in
is
my
how
life.
we're meant to be living. Yeah,
Yeah, I need to check the box and I need to go to more of these. How do I volunteer? How do I get, how do I become part of this? And that's how much I mean, we've grown so much now. Getting
yeah,
volunteers is, I mean, we barely have to ask anymore.
right. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. How has this work changed you as a person?
You know, it took a not so, and my wife will tell you this. Initially the Dash Gordon thing was about me.
Mhm.
I'm trying to take my wife on a vacation. Um, I had no connection. I don't have a child with a disability or special need. I said, you know what, this will be fun. I'm gonna be out in the public's eye and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And I had no idea it would take that turn.
right.
And it took a person with not a lot of compassion, a person that was not so humble all of the time when he needed to be. And then it just turned me inside out and made me care so much more for everyone in general and just really understand that I can't be judgy. I don't know what a person's gone through when they're telling their story. And these kids, most of all, I didn't realize what a beautiful aspect they would bring to my life.
Yeah.
And so once that happened, being with these individuals on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, and everything that we do, it's like being on an addictive drug. I can't get enough of it.
You're caught up in the love. I like it.
Man,
Yeah.
I want to be with them 24/7.
Yeah.
And why? Because they're not jaded by what's on television. And
Because you
I
feel
mean,
good when you're around them.
oh
Right.
man, how
Yeah,
can
they
you
make you feel
not?
good about yourself. Right. Which
Oh
is, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So it gives back. So it's like you're giving, but also you're getting something in return as well.
Yeah, all I care about is the laughter and the smiles and the joy that they get out of all of the stuff that they get to do. And that just fills my heart, makes me just feel like $1 million.
Yeah. So cool. What does inclusion look like to you? Like not just in words, but in action. What does
Okay,
inclusion look like?
that's a great word. And so I didn't really understand it when I first started this.
Mhm.
Inclusion, all I heard was inclusion. One, inclusion means it's not always fair. It's not always for you. It doesn't mean you can always do it. I mean, it really, so I mean, you can have Down syndrome, but if you want to try out for the Rockets and you don't make the team because you have Down syndrome, you can't get upset because you don't meet the you don't meet the criteria. You don't have the ability. I don't have the ability. I mean, I'm 61. I can't go try out for the Rock. And what I struggle with a lot of parents is they think every event is perfectly made for their child. And what that does cause sometimes it can cause some animosity if you truly don't adjust everything you do to make it fit that child. So
Mhm.
to me, true inclusion is it's not always for you, it's not always fair, it's not always the right fit, but you can get the opportunity to try. At
Yeah, okay, I
least
like that.
you get
Yeah, I
the
like that.
if you want to be a wrestler, try it. If you don't make it, it's okay. If you want to play basketball, try it. If you don't make it, it's okay. If you want to be in a pageant, but at least be given a shot to
Yeah.
see if you can do it. And if you can't, you can walk away and say, I tried.
Yeah, I like
That,
that.
to me, that's true inclusion.
Okay, that's good stuff. I always talk about because Mary Elizabeth's in a wheelchair, so my
Mhm.
little has cerebral palsy, and so access is always like our big barrier, right? And access to everything, right?
Yeah.
To even just get into a building, right? And I always think about like I push her into the building, so if it doesn't have a handicap push button or hand thing or whatever, I can, do it and prop it up against my arm and put her in. But I always think about the adults that are by themselves in a wheelchair.
Yep.
They cannot access that building. And so
Yep.
I always think about if we could, which is kind of like to piggyback of what you just said, if they could just have a shot at being in the room, if they could just have a shot at being there, it's not, yeah, they're not, it doesn't mean that everything has to be for them. Nothing's equal. I don't think equal has anything to do with anything anymore. Just
That's true.
that out there. But it just allows them an opportunity to be in the building.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of what you were saying about inclusion. I feel that way about
Yeah.
accessibility.
I mean, just you deserve at least a chance to try.
Right.
And if you can't do it, it's okay. And the parent has to understand that too. It doesn't have to be completely tailored and modified 9,000 different ways so the child can be included. The rules, everything else still applies. And you're going to have to pivot a little bit. But if the child or the young adult or old adult is not able to do it, it's okay.
Yeah, it's
It's okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I find that most mamas like me in our community, if someone is trying, and by someone I mean an ally or even a
Mhm.
mama doing their own event or whatever, if you're trying, if your heart is in the right place, I'm just grateful that we're there. Do you know
Yep.
what I mean? So it
I
doesn't
agree.
necessarily have to be tailored to Mary Elizabeth or a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But just the fact that, it's accessible and you're trying.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. Love it. Okay. What message would you like to leave for both caregivers and other allies today? Is there anything specific you would like to say?
So I think the thing that I've taken from all of this, and I talked to you about this when we talked on the phone. One, for the caregivers.
Mhm.
You- I know that all of you have talked to all of them. I know that initially when you find out that your child's going to have a disability or special need in some way, shape, or form, it's a blow. It
It's
is. It's
devastating.
a blow in life
Right.
because you don't know, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Right.
And then years have gone by. I've never talked to one parent that's ever said they wish it would have been different.
Hmm.
I've never talked to one.
Really? That's interesting.
I've
Yeah.
never talked to one parent that said, I wish it wouldn't have happened or I wish it would have been different.
Mhm.
Every parent has told me it's been life-changing, eye-opening, and the most loving thing or it has ever happened to them
Yeah,
in their
like we
life.
won. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I tell most people is this. We live in a world that's cruel, that's hateful, that's judgy, that's just I gotta have this like everybody's a Veruca off of Willy Wonka. They gotta have the golden egg.
Yeah.
The thing that these kids bring to the table is they teach us four life lessons that if we would all just learn it from them, we would be so much better as a society. And the four things are real simple. Being humble. These kids are tremendously humble individuals. Two, they teach us patience. Why? Because dealing with a child with a disability and special need takes an incredible amount of patience, double the amount of patience that you would have with a typical child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Three, they wake up every day. They enjoy every hour of every day until they go to sleep. And then when they get up the next day, guess what? They do it again.
Yeah.
But the fourth one is there's the one thing we just don't have internally, and it's something that we could all learn in life. They love you unconditionally, no matter who you are.
Yeah, it's like they're connecting with the spirit or the soul of the person or the heart of the
Crazy.
person versus the ego part, which is what the rest of us connect to.
And they got a gift of discernment that's like so
Right.
heightened. Oh my gosh, they can sniff out a fake. It
Yes.
doesn't take long. They're
Right.
so intuitive, and people sell them so short. And they'll look. If you're not genuine and you're fake and all this other, it will come to light. And guess what? They will let you know that this is not
Right.
work. This
Yeah.
is not work. So those four lessons in life that we are learning from these children or could learn from these children, just because my job as the Dash Gordon Foundation is to always have them in the forefront. Why? Because they're the ones that need to be seen. They're tired of seeing us. We're actually kind of boring to them. So they need to be in the forefront because they really bring everything to the table for all of us.
Yeah.
So that's my job, and that's my foundation's job, is to continue to push them in the forefront. And we're always walking behind, learning, enjoying, laughing, smiling, and learning how to love. And we're learning it from them.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, one more thing, one more question. Well, I have two more questions, but um,
It's okay. I'm good.
we are so Dash is part of our series of allies in our community. And we talk a lot here on the podcast about building community and about building our own community. But a lot of mamas who are tired would like help building
Mhm.
the community. And we are constantly looking to the outside to find allies because we're tired. And like Dash said, it takes um, it. I've had a neurotypical kid and a Mary Elizabeth, and I want to say Mary Elizabeth is 5 or 6 times more everything. And then the emotional component is maybe 10 times more or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like having a bunch of babies. And you just have to.
Yeah.
And so we're tired. And we are really making a call to the community for other people like Big T to look around and step up and help. And so if you were to say something to someone listening right now who is touched in their heart the way you were with that mama 4 or 5 years ago, but has not made the move to action yet, what would you say to them?
You know, I would say I really truly believe that this movement is on fire right now. And I think when you say a change is coming, I think a change is coming at a tidal waves pace. Because I think that the parents, the caregivers, and even the kids, they're over it. It's time to move forward. We're
Yeah,
tired of hearing the chatter of what you will do, but you don't do. We're tired of saying we're just they're just tired of that because
yeah,
nothing gets accomplished.
yeah,
So I think now that what's happened is everybody's kind of coming together and it's a growing movement. And if we all stick together and the organizations pull together, the light that is at the end of the tunnel is a lot closer than it was before.
yeah.
It's a
I love
lot
it.
closer than it was before.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. Last question. I ask all my guests the same question. What are you doing today specifically to live well and or love strong? And it could be serious or funny or, it could be anything.
Um, oh wow. I mean, to live well
And love
and
strong.
and love strong. Oh wow, Sarah, that's pretty profound question because I think for me, I mean, every day I wake up, um, what's in front of me is the community that I serve. And I feel that that's like living well. I think that, and I know some people may kind of cringe at this or whatever else, but I think God has me on a mission. And if I don't continue to let Him press on me and I don't stop leaning back and saying, hey, I need help, I don't think this thing would be on the path that it's on. I need his direction. I need his guidance as much as I need the parents' teachings. The parents are to me are like all like prophets. They're teaching me about their children and how to treat them and how to just do right by them and everything else. So, I think God's just got me on a path. It was a freight train on a dirt road, but now it's a freight train on a well paved out track.
Very well paved. Yeah.
It's very well paved out track. And I just take every day, one day at a time, and I let God drive this whole thing and open the door and let me out and let me do what I do, get back in and go to the next place. And
Love it.
once I realized that was the mission, he's not telling me to be Dash. He's saying, I love this, but you got to let me take you. And don't do it on your own. Just let me take you there. I'll drop you off. I'll open the door for you. Get out and do it. Get back in. We'll go to the next place. And we're starting to really expand.
Love it. Yeah. I love it. Okay. Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm so excited. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to see your face. And God, we're just so grateful to have such an amazing ally in our community. And like I said to you on the phone, you have been blessed. Like this is not something that you could articulate as far as what's going on. And so I'm so proud of you, and I've never even met you. I'm so proud of your foundation, and I'm just so grateful that you're part of our community. And so,
I I appreciate it so much. It's the most wackadoodle thing that's ever happened. And when you tell people how it happened, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I know, right?" No, but
yeah.
I thank you for reaching out and having me on. And the more people that want to do things like this and want to get the word out need to know that there are allies. There are all people that want to give 190,000% to help them with the needs that they have with these children and these young adults and older adults. And there's so much more that we're going to tackle along the way, and we'll do it together. And but it's definitely, I think, like I said, I think it's a movement that's definitely shaping its course in
Mhm.
such a way. And I'm just, for most people that are typical, they better look out. So it's coming like a freight train.
Yeah. Oh, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And
No,
I
thank you so
can't
much,
wait to
Sam.
meet you in person. We're gonna meet really
Soon.
soon. I know. And everybody check out the Dash Gordon Foundation. And when we post this, we're gonna post all of his links and ways that you can get involved in his foundation. And then also,
Absolutely.
like he said, you can look around, and if there's something else that is near and dear to your heart, don't be scared. Take that step forward and become part of our community. Be an ally. We would love to have you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Sarah.
All right. Thank you, Dash.
Bye
Bye.
bye.